Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Today we are going to be going over getters and setters in Java. This is a topic that a lot of people are not very familiar with, but once you get the idea of it, once you understand how it works, it clicks. So I'm going to be showing you IntelliJ, but I will have a timestamp in the video where you can skip to if you're doing it in any other IDE, such as VS Code or Eclipse. And it's just going to get right into the getters and setters. So in IntelliJ, the first thing you're going to want to do is create a new project. We are going to call this project getter setters. Okay, that's going to be the name of the file, the main file, and I will actually have this in I'll leave it in the Bucker Code projects. I will create a new folder, getters setters. Okay. We're going to keep the language Java. The build system is going to stay IntelliJ so it doesn't get confusing. JDK 2017, whatever, doesn't really matter because we're not going to get too deep into it. It's the very basics of Java. And I will go ahead and add a sample code. And we will go ahead and create that. Alright, so now that we are inside of IntelliJ, we have our source folder. Comment on comment, close that. We have our source folder, our main, and we have all these other external libraries. If you're doing this in any other program IDE, this is the part where you want to watch. Most of this is unnecessary. You won't have to worry about this. You'll just have to create a new file, call it main.java, and then public class main, and you'll have your public static void method here. Now, let's open that up a bit. And if we run this, we should get hello world. So it's a good check. So yeah. As you can see right here, we are getting hello world. So we will go ahead and start this off with this. We have the main class, but what I'm going to create up here is I'm going to create a class called getSet. Okay. Now we're going to access this getSet class from our main class. So our main class is going to run the main code. Our getters and setters will be explained up here. So in our getSet class, we're going to start off with a private variable, and we can name this string name. Okay. Private variables mean that no one can access it unless we're inside of this class. Okay. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to set up the first one, which is the set method. We will say public void set name, and then we're going to have to pass in a parameter. So the parameter will be setting, it's one too many keys, setting name. And what we're going to be doing is we are going to be setting this dot name, which is basically this name is this private variable name. This dot name equals setting name. Okay, so when we pass this function right here in our main program, we will use this parameter, setting name, to set this name as this private variable. What we're right now technically doing is object-oriented programming. Okay, we'll get into that here in a bit. Okay, next we're going to want to return that. So whenever we want to access this name, we're going to want a get method. So we're going to write the public, this is a string, so we need a public string get name. We don't need any parameter for that, and all we want to do is we want to get this private variable right here. So we're going to return name. Okay, so right now in our getSet class we have a private variable called name, which is a value string. We have the set method, which is a set name, and we have to pass in the parameter, which is setting the name. So this is a variable, this is the variable type, setting the name. And what that does is that whatever is passed into setting name is going to be added to name here. We are going to have to create an object of getSet. Whenever we want to access that object's name, we're going to use this method getName here. Okay, so we've set up the very bare minimum bare bones getSet class. Now what we can do is we can come into our main program, and now we're going to run this one more time. Okay, hello world, good, nothing's changed. I'm going to give some white space because I love working with white space. I'm going to take off the hello world, What I'm going to do now is I am going to create an object called getSet new object, and I'm going to give it the name of, I'm going to instantiate it of new getSet. So now this new object we've created has the values of set name, get name, and it has private name. If we were to right now do this and system.out.println, and we would say new object dot get name, let's see what it prints out. It should not print out anything because we have not set anything. No. So as you can see, since we have not gave it a name yet, the string name is null. It's not null, it's the value of null. There's nothing in there. Let's say if we came in here and we did this. We gave it the name of Bucker. Okay? And then we were to rerun this process. This should change to Bucker. Okay? Because the value that the name string, the string name is holding is Bucker right now. Right? This instantiation of the object, of a new object, automatically a default will be named Bucker. Think of it as like a class. This is technically a class, but think of it as like a NPC class, right? And you have 10 NPCs. Instead of going there, you can give them a default name Bucker, or you can give them a default name just null, and then you can set each of their names, right? So now, right between get name, this is going to be the first part. I'm going to actually add this as well. Print line not name not yet set. Okay, that's going to print out. Now let's do this. Let's do new object dot set name, and now the name we're going to say it is Mark. Okay, and now we're going to have another system dot out dot print, and this is going to say name has been set. Okay, this is not going to print out anything, this will. So now we ran through it, it'll print out null because we've not set it with anything here. Right over here it's going to print out name not yet set, so we know that it went through this line of code. The next part is that we're going to see Mark. It's going to tell us that name has been set. Now I want to do the same command. I'm not even going to do anything. I'm just going to copy and paste this command right here. All I want to do is just copy and paste this. And you're wondering why I have a system.out.println around get name, but I don't have one around set name. Because if we come back to the method right here, we see that the void set name isn't returning anything. It's a void. So we don't really need to print out. We don't want to see anything, so it's just going to print that out. The return name is holding the variable string. So when we return that, this whole method is holding this name, whatever string value this is. So when we say system.out.println get name, we're printing out the value of this object, get name, and whatever it's returning. So now system.out.println name has been updated. Okay, alright, so let's run that. As you can see, null, name has not yet been set. Then it ran through here and set it as Mark. Name has been set. Now we're printing off the new name, Mark. Name has been updated. So as you can see, as it ran through all of these, what we can also do to get some white space in, because I love white space, it helps so much to visually understand what's going on. And we're going to add that there, so we'll add a white space here, one right here. That should be good. So now you'll see, I'll run it one more time. Yep. So you can see, no, name has not yet been set, because we're just right now getting the name, although there's nothing been here yet. Name has been set once we change it to Mark, and then Mark, name has been updated. Okay? Now, I'm going to erase this right here, all the way until the object, and I'm actually going to say student 1. Okay? Get set student 2. New get set. Okay? So we have two students here. if I print their names, system.out.print line student 1 name is student 1 dot get name. Okay, and then I'm going to do the copy. I'm just going to copy this whole sentence. I'm going to come down here, print that. I'm going to say student 2's name is student 2 dot get name. Let's run that. It should be null for both. Null and null. Okay, I want to just fix that. Okay, now what we can do is we can set student 1. So student 1 dot set name Billy. Okay, we are taking the object we created, which is student 1, because it is an object of what variable gets set. So this student 1 object gets set holds these values. So that means that it has the set name method. So student 1 set name, setting the name as Billy, changing the private variable inside the class. Student 2, however, is the exact same, except it has the everything else except its name is still null, because we just instantiated this object on line 20. Line 19, student 1 was instantiated. Line 20, again, student 2 was instantiated. Both of these values holding nothing in their name. We go up here, we print to see what it's holding. None of them hold anything. On line 25, we are only touching object 1, student 1. We're setting his name as Billy. If we now print out these two statements again, with some white space, put some white space right after this line. Okay, so we'll have a space right here, and it's going to print out again. And we're going to run that one more time. You will see student 1's name is null, student 2's name is null. It went through the process of setting the name of student 1. Student 1's name is Billy, and student 2's name is still null, because we have not set that name yet. And that is the basis of getters and setters. We can also take this another step and take it to numbers. So instead of it being a private string name, we can also do this. We can say private int age. And then we can add two more methods, public void set age of int setting age. And then this dot age is going to be equal to age. And this give me a little error message. You done an assignment. And now we're going to have another one, which is going to be public int get age. Return age. Okay, so now we've given these two objects another variable to deal with, which is the age variable. 3 usages of this. Okay, so now I can also come in here again, and in student 1's name I can do this: system.out.print line student 1's age is student 1.get age. And then I'll do the same thing for student 2. Student 2's age is student 2.get age. Now since this is an empty variable, it shouldn't print out anything. It might be null as well. So it's 0. Instead of null, it's 0 because it has not been set yet. We'll come back over here and we'll say student 1.set age, and we're going to pass in, let's say he's 17. Okay, student 1.set age is 17. Now I want to do the same thing here. I'm going to replace this with that. So we have student 1's age is get age. Okay, so let's run this again. Set age. Yeah, I made a small mistake. I just needed to setting age is equal to this dot age. So now let's run it one more time. As you can see, student 1's age is 17 and his name is Billy. However, because we have not yet touched student 2, their value is still null. They don't have anything for their name, they don't have anything for their age. And there you go. And you can do this for any variable. This is the basics of getters and setters, and it's the entire class. So now this is the opening introduction to object orientation. As always, I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions about this, comment it down below and I will try to get back to you. I will try my best to get back to you if I know the answer, and I'll have more information. I will push this code to the GitHub, so be sure to check out the repository. And for more videos, see you next time, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.